What's the most toxic thing about your family? My mother's biggest dream in life was always to be a pageant queen, but because she could never do it, she decided to live her dream through me. From the second I was born, I was groomed into associating my self-worth with how beautiful I was. By the time I was 3, my entire existence revolved around dresses, makeup, and keeping a perfect smile no matter how sad I was inside. My mom controlled everything I did. She made 5-year-old me count calories, took me to beauty salons when I was 6, even lied to my teachers about me being allergic so they wouldn't let me eat what she hadn't packed. And what's worse, she was only getting started. Things got much worse when I was a teenager. Mom became obsessed with me winning the state-level pageant. But first, she decided to put me through beauty enhancement surgery. She forced me to cosmetically modify my nose, lift my cheekbones, and even get a chest enlargement at freaking 15. I cried when I got off the table for the final time, trying to tell my mom I didn't want this, but she snapped at me, reminding me how much she'd spent and how ungrateful I was being. I was 17 when the big pageant day finally arrived. Backstage, my stomach twisted in knots as she fussed over my hair and makeup. She jabbed at my face with brushes and curlers, burning my arm to give me unique beauty marks and snapping at me every time I told her it hurt. Right then, something just snapped inside me. I was tired of being treated like a doll. I was tired of being hungry all the time, tired of never having a voice. Without thinking, I stepped back, yanked off the ridiculous tiara she'd pinned into my hair, and dropped it onto the makeup table. "I'm done," I shouted at her. Mom stared at me, stunned. Her mouth opened and closed silently before she finally sputtered, "What did you just say to me?" "I'm not doing this," I repeated, my heart hammering. Other contestants and their mothers glanced our way. Mom's eyes narrowed dangerously. "You are not doing this right now," she warned, grabbing my wrist hard, but I pulled away and turned to run out of there. My younger sister Bella, who was also competing in her competition right after me, stood in the doorway, her eyes wide and scared. She grabbed my hand as I pushed past. "Take me with you," she begged. I couldn't say no. We sprinted out of the building, dresses trailing behind us like flags. I heard Mom screaming, but I didn't stop. Bella and I made it to my beat-up car and drove straight to our cousin's place. She distanced herself from Mom years ago, and when we showed up crying at her door, she didn't ask questions, just hugged us. The first few weeks were freeing. For the first time in my life, I ate without someone breathing down my neck. I wasn't forced to sleep with my corset. I even went to the doctor and was told I was dangerously underweight. So I started eating more, getting my life together, teaching Bella she was worth more than her weight and supposed beauty. But it didn't last. Mom wasn't going to let us go that easily. One night, after my shift at a diner where I now worked, I saw a familiar car parked across the street from Hannah's apartment. My heart froze when I realized what it was. I rushed inside to the apartment, but it was already too late. She had seen me. Minutes later, my mom was pounding on our door, yelling threats and accusations loud enough for the neighbors to hear. She pushed her way inside, eyes wild and furious, demanding we come home immediately. Bella cried, shaking behind me. My hands trembled, but I pulled out my phone and started recording, catching Mom's words and threats. When she lunged to grab me, Hannah stepped between us, and Mom backed off, still yelling as she stormed out. I uploaded that video immediately. Overnight, comments from my followers poured in, supporting Bella and me. But Mom's allies, her friends from pageants, family members I'd barely even known, turned on us. Hannah lost her job after someone made false accusations about her online. We had to move again, starting from scratch with even less than before. Life was hard, really hard, so I started writing to cope with the pain. I began posting anonymously online, trying to become an outspoken voice against toxic and abusive parenting and pageantry. Slowly, my words started making a difference. Organizations invited me to speak. I've opened up online safe spaces, and now I'm sharing my story publicly for the first time. So thank you, Mom, because without you, I would have never helped as many children who were once like me.